Oh, welcome to Ole Walls house. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man. It's Ole Walls, and I'm back with you. Episode 168 coming your way. Before we get there, just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate the watches, the listens. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you could, please rate, review, comment, subscribe, and share. Would go a long way. Let everyone know Ole Walls house is the place to be. Got another fun show coming. We got Place in Slano coming back for round 2. We're wrapping up the past weekend in the NCAA Tournament and placing our bets for this weekend. So we got a fun show coming. Also, before we get into it, don't forget to check out the Full Range podcast on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel, and you can find that on Spotify as well. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach and Jeff are back. We're here to assess the weekend that was and predict the weekend that will be. Zach, Jeff, how are we doing today, gentlemen?
Fantastic. It's beautiful here in Pittsburgh, 55 and sunny. I can't complain.
Great. Ready for Ricky Fowler to shine in the TGL Championships tonight.
Is that tonight?
9 p.m.
Is New York Golf Club involved?
Sure.
Am I correct?
Yup.
Check me out. Look at all the things I know. Are they playing Atlanta?
Yep.
I'm on fire. I can't name anybody else. Billy Ho's on the Atlanta team.
Sure, you could get at least one more if you wanted.
Cam Young is on the New York team.
Yep.
Billy Ho, Cam Young.
Don't phone a friend. I'm watching Severance tonight.
Man, now we're running deep. Billy Ho.
You're missing the two best players in the event.
The two best players. Is Xander?
Mm-hmm.
Who's he play for? Atlanta. Yeah. Damn it. Who else is good?
Oh, fuck. I watched the Atlanta one once. They got Arthur Smith got him changed, right?
Yep. Dirty Birds.
That's the only reason I knew Billy Ho was on Atlanta, because he did the Dirty Bird. Billy Horschel.
Not
Xander.
JT, right?
Not who?
JT?
Yeah, JT's their top guy.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Man, their team's kind of stacked. Xander, JT, and then Billy Hull's been playing really good.
No. Xander, Cam Young, and Ricky.
Oh, they're on New York. See, I even thought Xander was on. So who's the third guy?
It's JT, Billy Ho, and Lucas Glover's one of them, but I'm guessing he's not playing tonight.
It's kind of hot.
Maybe he is the third guy tonight. I forget who the third guy is.
Let's find out. TGL Championship matchup. Everything you need to know for the TGL Championship. New York GC versus Atlanta GC. Who's playing? The lineups. Atlanta will start Justin Thomas, Pat Cantlay, and Billy Horschel.
Cantlay, that's it. It's
New York is playing.
Yeah, Patrick Cantlay. He just doesn't say anything.
Xander, Ricky, and Cam Young. Lucas Glover for Atlanta will be on the bench, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. They've saved the Xander Cantlay for the third slot, so they will play in singles. There you go. I didn't have TGL on our rundown for today. But there we are. Okay, boys. Last week, we battled. We were battling 27, 28, and 1. We were in an okay spot, and then Saturday happened. We won the first 2 games of the day and didn't sniff a victory for the rest of it. Finished 2-5-1, and I think that the push was like a backdoor thing. Saturday, I kind of bucked the trend a little bit and went a little rogue. Didn't listen to you guys quite as much. We finished 6-2. Got hooked late against with Oregon and Arizona. But 6-2.
No, we didn't have that.
No, you were probably off doing one of your own fucking shenanigans. So
a lot of hooks yesterday.
Jeff, I think yesterday the picks you submitted, you were 1-7.
I think it was 2-6. We didn't get worse over the last 12 hours since the morning text.
Okay, 2-6. My bad.
In those, we got hooked in both of the late games.
So how are we feeling? Just, our performance, the tournament in general. How are we feeling after the first weekend?
I'm up on my own. I went 11-8 on Thursday, like 10-9 or something on, and then even the rest of the weekend. I had over-unders. You don't allow over-unders. I get it. But my bank account had over-unders, and they profited. They went 2-0. So I'm happy. I
somehow, on Thursday, when I placed my bets, flipped 2 games by accident.
Made money.
And made money. I went 10-6 the first day instead of the 8-8 we did. I accidentally put McNeese in. I even texted my guy and asked him to take it out. No answer. Guy should have done it.
Bang.
Counted for me. So, yeah. $12 whole to the good for me this weekend. 56 bets, $12.
Yeah, I think I'm up a small percentage too.
I think I saw that the underdogs straight up on the weekend were like 13-44. Like, this is just a big boy tournament going forward.
And it's very funny that you said that, because there were a lot of people, I know someone who did it, who found that, for this many years in a row, if you would just bet every single underdog to win, you'd make money.
Yeah.
And this year that was a killing. Now, my takeaway from the first weekend is that people are complaining. They're doing way too much complaining. They have nothing to complain about, because if we got a bunch of upsets last weekend, it typically means that the second weekend games are not as good. And I think we are going to have a spectacular weekend of games for 4 days, because we have the best teams still playing.
I was surprised by some of the lines about how big they were because of the teams they're playing. I think you've got some pretty evenly matched teams here, and I was surprised by how big the lines are. But yeah, I'm a big believer in, hey, if you want your upsets to happen on Thursday, Friday, cool. By Saturday, Sunday, cut that shit out. Give me the big dogs. I want to see the best 16 teams playing. And sure, there's always the example of the 11 or the 8 or the 9 or the 10 getting through to the Elite 8 or maybe sneak into the Final 4. But how many times have we seen a 15 makes a run, and then all of a sudden we're watching Thursday and it's the early game. It's the 6:00 game on Thursday, because now we're going pretty much, 2 isolated games at a time, and somebody's just getting blown off the court, and you're like, well, I've got 40 more minutes till the next game starts. Like, I don't need that in my life.
For sure. The only one that I remain disappointed about is I'm very disappointed that the officiating robbed us of UC San Diego. They deserve to win that game against Michigan. They did everything right in that game against Michigan. They would have beaten Texas A&M, and we would be having a great story about this really skilled group of dudes from the West Coast that nobody had heard about, against an Auburn team that has just looked okay for about 30 of the 40 minutes they've played each game. Or I'm sorry, 10 of the 40 minutes they've played each game.
And instead, we're going to get Michigan, who beats Auburn and makes the Elite 8.
Crazy talk.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to cash the Michigan ticket to the Final 4.
Anyone want to discuss? I know we mentioned it, but once it actually happens, it's even more absurd, and you actually live through it. The TV schedule on Saturday and Sunday, and more so,
too, if you'd like,
and more so Sunday. Like, it bothers me Saturday, but it's still Saturday, so like whatever. But when it happens Sunday, I am just like, what in the literal fuck is going on? But you know what, Jeff? I'm going to give you the floor.
I'm going to hear this one.
There's nothing that I enjoy talking about more on Ole Walls' house than producers being absolutely atrocious at their job. And I don't even know if you've ever done this before on this pod, but I'm going to bring the women's basketball tournament into it, because today is basically yesterday for the women's tournament. And the women's game is trying to increase eyeballs, right? And if you look at the game times of the round of 32 games for today, which is their version of Sunday, The games started at 12, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 8 o'clock game is UConn in prime time on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 10 o'clock, there's a game being played at USC, one of the top teams in the country, one of the top players in the country, playing at 7 p.m. local time for all the people out at USC that want to root for Juju. There's no reason that the men's tournament can't do the same thing. The women's tournament goals is getting eyeballs on the games. They just know that we're going to watch the men's games regardless. So they can put them whenever they want. But thank God we were saved yesterday by UConn, Florida, or that first half of the afternoon would have been absolutely brutal on a standalone spot with a 1 seed playing an 8 seed that had looked terrible all year, right? But it just makes no sense. I can't even get the logic behind why they would want us to be watching 3 games at the same time at night. It makes no sense.
It's so weird that you go through the like, oh, we're just watching a standalone game, and then all of a sudden it's like right around dinner time, like that 6-ish o'clock time, like every game, let's go. It's like I have 2 TVs, but like how many people like have multiple TVs in their house? I mean, more now than ever before, but like it's still not the majority.
No.
Like it's just I don't get it. And again, I'll give Saturday the pass because I'm sure there's some TV metric that says Saturday people go out and do shit. Sunday, like everybody, like people are home. Like, hey, sure, first game, it should be like the 11 or what's it, the noon game. Then what, like 2:40?
Yep.
The 2:40 game should start at 2. Then we should get another game at like 3:30. Then a game at like 4:30 or 5, and just eliminate some of that back end. I think 4 of the games start after 7 o'clock.
Correct.
Just do what you do on the first 4 time slots, right? Where you've got 2 games, and just do that 4 times, right? Like have 2 sites host afternoon games, have 2 sites host night games, and that's it, right? I guess really it's do what you do this Thursday twice, right? Like take Thursday's night slot, start one of them at 12:10, and copy and paste it, right? Like, just continuously give us 2 games on it almost the whole time. One's in the first half, one's in the second half, and we're good.
Yeah.
It's absurd. All right. Well, speaking of Thursday, then, shall we head to Thursday? I believe that is the West bracket, gentlemen. I think those are the Thursday games. I'm trying to do this in bracket on the correct days, at least.
It is the East and
Newark is definitely Thursday.
Yep.
Okay, so East is officially the first game. So the first game is Alabama. So we will do. We'll start in the East. So we get Alabama BYU to kick us off. Alabama -5.5. Why don't we start with Jeff up there in the top right corner?
What a fascinating 2 games for Nate Oates to prepare for at Alabama. 2 completely different pace scenarios that I know we love to talk about.
That's right,
and
baby.
now we are going with 2 identical tempo scenarios where both of them want to get it up and down, and we might see first to 100 in this game. I think Alabama is going to be just too good for BYU. I think we deserve Duke, Alabama. I think we're going to get Duke, Alabama. I think Alabama does just enough, kind of like the St. Mary's game yesterday, right around the number for a lot of it. Alabama too good at the end.
Zach?
I'm going to let you make this. I like BYU. I really like that Wisconsin team. I thought BYU played well. They shot well. Seeing Baker in the locker room for the last 3 minutes after being ejected was something for TV fun. And I think he's going to be hungry and come out playing well. And I just don't think this Alabama team's that good. They play down to their competition. It's going to be closer. So 5.5, I'll take points.
Oh, man, you guys really started me out with a humdinger here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do I go against the Provo pushers? Or do I ride with the tide? Roll Tide? Oh, God. I don't know, man. It's funny you say Alabama does have these moments where they've looked good. Jeff, mute yourself when you're not talking, if you don't mind. I think we're getting some feedback from you. I think Alabama takes these stretches where they look like a good team. And then other times I'm just like, what the hell are they doing? I just don't know. I mean, BYU scored some points.
Mm-hmm.
I am just so confused here. I'm just going to go Bama. I just think they're better. And, 5.5 points, if the game's a little close, that can, couple foul shots at the end of the game, that can stretch out. So I'll take Bama. I don't love it. And if that number, I will put an asterisk here. If that number starts going up, like people start hopping on Bama, I'm off and I'll go the other way. But at 5.5, I think you can make up just enough at the end of a game if it's a close game. And I think Bama wins. So that's what we're going with. The second game in the East region, Duke giving 8.5 to Arizona. Zach, you get the privilege here of starting us off.
I don't even know if I want to start with this one. 8.5. I mean, Duke has looked dominant. They have looked so good. And I was going to say earlier, you can still get them 2-1 to win the national title. Is it worth betting Duke to win it all? Like, I mean, they're like on a UConn run, but Caleb Love, we said before, he's going to shoot. He's going to get his. I'll take Duke minus 8.5.
Yeah, Jeff, I'm not going against Duke. I've just thought they've looked too good so far this year. I said I'm so surprised about the spreads, and I've taken the two favorites already. But I just think Duke seems to be in a different class. And, I mean, they've won, more games by 30 points this year than any team since, like, UNLV in, like, 1990. Like, this is a good team. And Cooper Flagg is the bona fide best player in America.
So they met in November. I thought they already met once, and Duke beat them by 14, and Duke was the underdog, a 2-point dog.
In Arizona.
So it was in Arizona, that's why?
It was a true road game for John Shire, which I know historically Duke does not play those. They did, and they were really, really good. It would have been it would have been Duke anyway. It is now consensus Duke. Mainly because I just don't see Caleb Love doing that again. And if he's not doing that again, then they don't have any chance. He's got to be really good for them.
I will say, Caleb Love is a fucking Duke killer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that shot in the Final Four is getting a lot of play the last couple days here.
Yeah.
All right. To the West. We go West, young men. Kicking us off, 6:39 or 7:39 for those of you in the East Coast time zone. We have Florida minus 6.5 against Maryland. Is this me? This is me.
Yep.
I've been riding Maryland, man, and I'm going to stick with it. 6.5. I think they can hang around. I almost like them to win. I don't. Right, let me swing back to what Florida's been doing here. I don't think I've been super impressed with Florida. Where's my bracket?
They played UConn. That was a close game.
Yeah, and I was not impressed with UConn at all. So yeah, I'll take Maryland. I'll take the 6.5. Jeff, you're up, buddy.
I will say I was very impressed with UConn. I thought that was UConn's one of their best games they've played all year.
I wasn't impressed with UConn in general, not so much that game.
I think Danny Hurley deserves a second on the pod for how well prepared they were for that game against Arizona. They run unbelievable stuff on offense in Florida.
Yeah, but he ruins it because he's such a bitch.
Do you like his antics after the game? Yelling.
I don't even know what he's talking about after the game. For what it's worth, I thought
that's my point. He's just
a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But I like Florida here, and I've liked Maryland all year. I think I said that on our pod 2 weeks ago, that Maryland, the Big Ten, was pretty good. I think you see sometimes these really good one seeds, they have their game, it kind of wakes them back up. I think there's a chance that was the game. They looked like they were sleepwalking through a lot of that UConn game until Walter Clayton took it over in the final couple minutes. I don't know that Maryland can score enough to beat them in this game. I'll take the Gators.
I'm going to go Maryland. I picked them to make the Final Four. I picked them to go to the finals. There's a lot of money riding on Maryland. Derek Queen's, I think he's really good. That high school team with Flagg and him and the kid from Baylor, those guys are. I don't know who anybody beat them. if they can somehow shut down Clayton, they win the game. It's going to come down to coaching, but I'm going to take the points in Maryland here.
All righty. Okay. That leaves us with the last Thursday game. The John Calipari-led Arkansas Razorbacks and Texas Tech. I have Texas Tech laying 5.5. Jeffy.
It's interesting that we started this segment by saying that I think we're going to have great games this day, and here I am going to take my fourth favorite in those 4 games. However, I think we're talking about spreads 4, 5, 6, 7 points, 8 points for Duke, who's really good. I think the games can be really, really good for 40 minutes, and teams still cover 4 or 5 or 6 points. And I think that's what happens here. I've got Texas Tech in the Final Four. I think they're really good. I hope that Chance McMillan comes back. He didn't play this weekend for them. They're going to need him next to JT Toppin, I think is his name, in order to get through this weekend. My hope is that he's back. If he's not back, I flip to Arkansas because I think he's important enough for them to need in this game. But I think a really good game. I think Texas Tech's just a little bit more skilled and is going to be able to get a couple stops down the stretch.
I will take the same thing. If he's back, I'm taking Texas Tech. If he's not, riding with Arkansas. They need to shoot better. They shot 25% the first 2 games from behind the arc. Like, if they're going to beat Calipari, like, they got to shoot better. That wasn't fun to see Arkansas St. John's, though. Like, that was old Ricky P.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
Elite athleticism in that game.
Yeah.
I would have taken Arkansas. I'll take the points. I think Arkansas is liable to win. Just what I don't know. I think they're very athletic. And sometimes I just want the dudes. Like, just give me the dudes. And I feel like Arkansas has the dudes. I don't know if I'm right. I felt like Drake with a bunch of D2 guys gave Texas Tech, not a game, but like hung around enough. And I know Drake's good, but I don't know. Arkansas looks like a different level to me. So Texas Tech is the pick, though, from you two gents.
Did you think Drake hung around?
Didn't they? I thought they were like there and it like spread out late.
Like 10 minutes, maybe.
Am I misremembering that game?
Well, so I think Drake helped you misremember it because they just play so slow. So like you look at the score and it's only 8 or 10.
It was actually 13, but I thought it just got spread late.
But it was kind of 8 or 10 for like almost the whole second half, I feel like. I think it was like 9 or 11 at the half.
No, he's right. It was close. Second half, it was a 7-point game, a 5-point game, a 6-point game, a 4-point, and then it got out to 10. And then like the last, they really turned it on with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, it felt like they were like, because we had Drake in that game, and it felt like they were about to cover about 17 different times.
Yeah, because they were 7.5. At the 6-minute mark, they were down 7. 7-minute mark, they were down 7 as well, and then it went to 10, 12. Kind of got out of hand.
To how you can have these 5, 6, 7 point spreads, and the game still be really, really good for 40 minutes, right? Yeah. Like they don't have to win by 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's go over to the Midwest. We got Houston laying 7.5 against Purdue. Purdue, the Boilermakers. Actually, I see it as much as 8.5 now from when I made this list. So 8.5 is what I'm looking at. So we're going to move that up to 8.5.
I got 8. It opened 6.5. It's up to 8 on.
Damn. So it's flying up.
Yeah.
Are you up, Zach?
You are up. I have futures. I have everything riding on Houston. The whole world's for me is on Houston, so I have to support Houston. I will say that I saw something the other day that the last time they got somewhere, there was something similar to this. They had to travel and play in someone's backyard, and they got upset. This is in Indianapolis, which is Purdue's backyard. A little scary, but I'm going to take the better team, better coach. Giving 8 points.
Let's do Uno reverse card for the second half here. Jeff, you go next.
I am going to take the points here. I think it's too many points. I think playing in Indianapolis is a huge advantage for Purdue here. I know there's not really anything that Houston can do about that. I think Matt Painter himself can really coach. They've got a veteran group at Purdue. Braden Smith played well against McNeese State the other day. Kaufman run inside has been awesome pretty much the whole year. It looked like Fletcher Lawyer making some threes the other day looks a little bit either healthier or more comfortable. I don't know that they win, but I do think they can keep it close. And I won't lie, Houston's final couple minutes against Gonzaga the other day gave me a little bit of, is this team ready to close games out on the offensive side of the ball?
They let the
I'll
foot
take
off the
points.
gas.
Yeah, that is why I'm taking Purdue. Is I don't know. Houston didn't impress me with Gonzaga. I got nothing else other than anything you guys have said. In Indianapolis, Houston's traveling. Purdue's basically at home.
Mm-hmm.
Houston been a little less than impressive to me. Yeah, and 8.5, man. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it in this Sweet 16 matchup. 8.5. Give me those. Kentucky and Tennessee is next up. Tennessee minus 4.5. I think both of these teams have looked, solid. Wofford gave Tennessee a little bit of a more of a run than I thought, but Tennessee's looked okay. Kentucky, I think, has looked really nice. Beat what I thought was a good Illinois team, and they're actually dogs in that game. Mm-hmm. So, Jeff, you're leading us here.
I think this has a chance to be a really good game. You're going to hear a lot about Kentucky having swept Tennessee throughout the year. You're going to hear it's really hard to beat teams 3 times in a row. I don't think the statistics actually back that up. From what I am told, at the end of the day, in the NCAA tournament, kind of like Purdue in the last game, if I've got one team that wants to rely on defense and one team that wants to rely on offense, I kind of am going to take the team that I trust to score more points. Tennessee's offense has looked a little bit better this year than it has in the past. It's not a team I've really been high on most of the year. I had Illinois to actually beat Tennessee in this game. I'm going to take Kentucky.
Okay, hang on. I just found something here. According to this is from Reddit, so take this for what it is. According to Stats LLC, there have been 981 similar matchups across college basketball over the past 10 seasons. The teams entering the third game 2-0 are a combined 710 and 271, so a 72.4% winning percentage in the third meeting. So over a 10-year of college basketball, including almost 1,000 games, the team that won the first 2 games won the third meeting 72% of the time. So, like you said, apparently not that hard to beat a team 3 times. Maybe that's more of a football thing.
Reddit stats are true, but they back what I said, so those ones are definitely true.
Stats LLC. I mean, it couldn't be more legit than Stats LLC on a Reddit page from Devin Up from 4 years ago.
Right?
Who'd you take?
He took Kentucky.
Okay, I'm taking Kentucky too. I was spending my entire time looking up that stat. I think Kentucky's been impressive, and they're getting 4.5 on a team they've beat twice already this year. I'm in.
I'm taking them too. I need madness. I need that side of the bracket to blow up so Houston can walk to the Final Four.
All right, the last 2 of the Thursday-Friday set, we have Auburn minus 8.5 against Michigan. Auburn, like we've all said, has looked less than stellar. Alabama State covered for us on Thursday or Friday. I forget whatever that was. It was Creighton in that game more than I expected, right?
They were same type of thing.
I think they were winning until there was 10 minutes left or something like that.
They were winning at half or tied at half and then came out
unconscious from 3. Absolutely unconscious from 3.
Which is their MO, is how they play. But
then Michigan skated by UC San Diego. But looked good against Texas A&M, I thought. I think Auburn wins, Michigan covers.
I'm taking Michigan.
Oh.
I'm taking Michigan. I think Michigan's going to win. 2 7-footers. The dude's name's Golden. Like, I'm riding with that. He's good.
This doesn't really help our thing, but I don't think the spread matters in this game. I think either Michigan's going to get run off the floor, or they're going to win. And I don't think they're going to win. But I think Auburn found something that last 10 minutes, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. Auburn and Alabama, I've had chats with people the last week or so. They are the two scariest teams in the country, whether you have them or you don't have them, because you literally don't know what you're going to get from them. Like, they both go through stretches where they look like they don't really care. They're disinterested. They're treating it like it's a pickup game or an AAU game. And then they both go through stretches where they're the best team in the country for 6 minutes, and that's the only 6 minutes that they needed. And they did that against Creighton the other day, and I think they ended up covering too.
They did. They won by 12.
So I think they find enough of that in here off of a first half scare the other day.
All right. Last one. Ole Miss, Michigan State, 2.5. Zach's up.
I got 3. Opened at 3.5.
Do you want 3? I'll give you 3 if you're pushing for 3.
I'm pushing for 3, but I'm just being it because I'm a righteous man and I can't sleep at night knowing that I picked the wrong spread, because I'm gonna take Michigan State. Big Ten team. I don't know. I just feel like Ole Miss's magic's got to run out, but they looked good. They looked really good. Michigan State -3. And pray.
Oh, if you're taking that, I could have given you a -2.5. I had 2.5.
I couldn't sleep at night. Like, I'm taking the real line. It's 3.
I mean, if Jeff takes Michigan State, it's 2.5 as far as the pot's concerned. I'm seeing 2.5.
Well, I will jump in and make sure that this thing ends with Ole Walls making a choice.
God damn it.
I have Ole Miss winning this game. I had them in the Elite Eight. I think they give Auburn a great game in the next round. It is Auburn that they would play, right? That's that quadrant. Yeah. And then the Bear, Chris Fallica, tweeted out today, since 2018, 2 seeds in the Sweet 16 that have been favored by 3 points or less are 1-4 in those games outright. 2 of those 4 losses, Chris Beard, Texas Tech teams. I will take the Ole Miss led, or Chris Beard led Ole Miss team.
Wasn't there a stat you had against Michigan State too? Something about a 2 seed unranked or something?
So 1 or 2 seeds that were unranked to start the season have averaged less than 1.5 wins per tournament, and none of them have ever made the Final Four in like the last 30 years. This tournament was St. John's, who won 1 game, Michigan State, who now has won 2 games. That would be an average of 1.5, which would be right on track. And honestly, it's funny. Both those teams are kind of similar. Michigan State and St. John's, the way they play, the second halves, the athleticism, the runs they make, the offensive droughts they can go on. Really similar teams.
Michigan State went on a beautiful run in the second half last night. Oh, man, I just don't know. I like this Ole Miss team, but it's hard. And I don't even know if this is a thing that should, Jeff, you tweeted something out there, like, if you take away the VCU run for Shaka Smart, he's a horrendous coach in March. Like, should we still be considering Tom Izzo a great March coach? Like, there was the stretch where he just went to a Final Four every 4 years. Like, I know he went somewhat recently, but, like, it's not been the same. But at the same time, like, it's Tom Izzo. That said, Chris Beard can coach. I am so torn on this game. Do I have a quarter? If I had a quarter, which I don't, I would totally flip it. I'm going Ole Miss. I'm going Ole Miss +3. I'm going to second guess that 100 times. That could definitely be one that we there's a late tweet on Friday evening.
I was just going to say, you got till 7:09 on Friday.
There could be a Friday tweet from the Ole Walls House Twitter page that at about 7:00 Eastern that we're switching to Michigan State, especially if the line moves in the wrong direction.
You're going to have 2 or 3 beers at dinner about 5:30, 6 o'clock your time, and you're going to see some Michigan State highlights as they're warming up. And
I am. I'm just gonna be sitting there and be like, shit.
Yep.
Oh God.
All over. You're just going to see signs all day Friday. Just Izzo, billboards, like it's just going to happen.
I'm going to end up having to like make a trip over to Michigan this week for work. And next thing you know, I'm just going to be driving like in East Lansing with Tom Izzo's just face staring at me.
You're going to run into him in the coffee shop and you have to bet him.
I ran into him in the airport one time. He was in the Detroit airport one time. This was like 10 years ago almost now. And I was just like looking for a charger. And I'm walking around, and there's just this dude on the phone kind of sitting all the way away from everybody. And I'm like, what's this guy doing? And I kind of look at him, I'm like, holy fuck, that's Tom Izzo. And I just like stare directly at him. And he just kind of nods at me. And I was like, oh, hey, man. And I just kind of left him alone. That's all I got. Sorry, Tom. I'm betting against you. Ole Miss. Running Rebs. All right, boys. That's the first 8 games of this fine weekend. We have 12 more all together this weekend, right? If my math's correct, 15 more total. Is that right? No.
Starting now, we have 12 this weekend.
Yeah,
and 15 total.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. For viewing pleasure, we have 15.
Yeah, viewing pleasure. Let's enjoy it. It's gone for one more year, basically, after this. Any final thoughts from you fine gentlemen?
Go Maryland, Houston, Texas Tech, Duke. Auburn, too. They could
Are
win.
all our Final Four teams still alive?
No, I think I picked St. John's.
I had Clemson. But we need to get Maryland out so that we can get that Kevin Willard contract.
Yeah.
Oh, are all our Final Four? We all lost the team. Yeah, St. John's, gone. Wisconsin, gone. Jeff, what were yours? Because in this, you have Auburn, Duke, Texas Tech, and Houston.
That's the one that I have.
Oh, okay, so Tech's gone.
No, I tweeted that Houston was changing to Clemson. But maybe I just need to delete that tweet.
Well, Texas and Houston gone. Jeff's down to 2. Because you got rid of
Texas
Houston.
Tech's not gone.
Oh, shit. Houston was actually Clemson. Clemson gone. All right,
Yes.
so we've all lost one.
Yep.
All right, boys.
Ready.
Well, I don't think we're coming back next week. We'll just send your picks in. Unless you guys want. You let me know.
We'll see.
We'll see. So thank you very much, gents, and we'll see you. We'll see you down the road.
Let's go to New York Golf Club.
Go Atlanta. Time for some passing thoughts. As like last week, gonna be just kind of a jumble bag of everything. Again, recording this before I record with the boys same as last week. I'd imagine we went for a little while again, so it won't be too crazy long here. We'll start with the Flyers. They suck. They lost 4 games. Yesterday, they gave up 7 goals to the Blackhawks. 7 goals to the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks, who are 21, 41, and 9. I mean, that even makes 28, 35, and 9 seem decent. I mean, you give up 7 goals to that? Good God. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. Burn it all down. Little golf. I watched a little of this Sunday. I didn't watch much of it before Sunday. Threw it on the second TV. Viktor Hovlands back in the winner's circle. First time since the 2023 Tour Championship. He outlasts Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas had been looking to get back in the winner's circle for the first time in a long time as well. Unfortunately for JT, a late bogey, a bogey on the 16th hole, and then bogeys 18 as well. Goes from 12 under back down to 8 to 10 under. Viktor Hovlands able to bogey his way in on 18, after Viktor Hovlands goes birdie on 16, 17. It looked good for JT for a long time. I mean, had been going just a solid 3 under front 9, and then had made 4 birdies heading into 16, had made a long one on 15, and just wheels came off a little bit. He was in contention to lead this despite making the cut on the number. Shot 1 over the first day, 2 under the second day, makes the cut on the number, 65-66 on the weekend. You know, some good things there. A guy who seemed to be trending in the right direction, just couldn't quite get it done. Bud Colley showing up again. Billy Horschel again playing some good golf. I think I saw a video of Billy Horschel hitting like an 80-yard left-handed shot. Corey Connors there on the leaderboard again. I'm sure he just plotted his way. Oh, he made some birdie. See, there you go. He goes out and 1 over, makes a couple birdies coming in. He's like the backdoor top 10 king, like never in contention. A little flash from Xander Schauffele this week. Shoots a Sunday 65. I think that's the low round of the tournament by a couple of guys is 65. So maybe he's finding some form coming off that little bit of a back injury. Or was it ribs or is he back? Could have been ribs. Sepp Straka on the leaderboard. Tommy Fleetwood, just perennial top 20, never actually in contention. Shane Lowry up there again. Shane Lowry's been playing some good golf. Lucas Glover as well. So been a lot of names you've just kind of seen hanging around. Jordan Spieth ends up shooting even par on Sunday, but made a triple sandwich between birdies on 16. He was even, birdied 15, triple 16, birdie 17, 1 over par. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't watch a ton of it. Course played kind of tough, it looks like. I mean, only 2 guys double digits under par. I don't know who Jacob Bridgman is, but I think he was the Saturday night leader. 69 for a guy I've never heard of. Played in the last group, excuse me. Not too bad. Just trying to see if I notice anybody else on here. Ben Young-an, Miliana Grillo, JT Poston. I said JT, I meant Jordan Spieth there. I'm just scrolling down the leaderboard, see if I see him. Luke Clanton, another decent showing for the young buck. T42, 74, 69, 70, 71. Not bad for the AM. Will Zalatoris, 71, 69, 73, 72. Gets beat out by Danny Willett. Gary Woodland made a cut. Good for Gary. Okay, I'm too deep. That's enough. I could break my mind going through that for too long. What do we got here next week on the PGA Tour? Houston Open. Is that the one Scotty plays on? Actually, I think our boy Slano sent us an odd sheet. I don't know what the question out of it was. Has anyone ever seen anything like this? It was the odds. It must be because Scotty's plus 320, Rory's plus 600, and then everybody else is plus 3,000 or more. Sungjae. So Scotty, Rory, Sungjae, JJ Spawn, Taylor Pendrith, Michael Kim, Davis Thompson, Aaron Rye, Wyndham Clark in the field at Houston Memorial Park Golf Course. Then it's Valero, and then we got the Masters. The Masters is coming, people. We're almost home. All right, some other things here. Traveled, was that a thing for work? We went to Qdoba for lunch. Chipotle is so much better, and so is Pancheros. Like, those two establishments are just far superior to Qdoba. Like, Qdoba's got decent, like, queso, but it's not, like, great. Like, I'm not like, God damn, that queso. That queso is what I need. The city of Denver is a bunch of cucks. That's what I know. They instituted for their city-owned golf courses a couple of years back that there was a pass someone could buy, and they could continue to buy it at the same rate. And then the golf would only cost them like $10 a round, plus cart. And they are discontinuing it because there are 14 senior golfers. These are senior golfers that are playing too much for it. And the video I saw, the lady they referenced plays like 60 rounds a year. which is a decent amount of golf, but it's not that much. Like, what's that? Not even 3 times a week, I bet. If you're just, how many, let's just do June, July, August, September. Like, those are the nice months. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 weeks. 18 weeks. Okay, it's about 3 times a week. Yeah, 18 times 3 is 54. So 60 divided by 18. 3.3. 3.3 rounds a week is breaking the bank for you guys. They're like, it's really costing us money. It's like, well, too bad. You fucking sold it. You guys are the worst. And like the golfer was like, well, it's just not fiscally, it's just not making us money anymore. Like, well, too fucking bad. Someone, when they created the thing, should have thought ahead that, oh, you can actually pay less money to play golf. And people that have time to do that are going to take advantage of that. Like, God forbid someone that they've made an agreement keeps buying the thing and keeps using it. 60 rounds, 3 times a week, 14 people. It's 3.5 tee times. I'm sure some of them play together. How many? Let's see how many courses the city of Denver operates. That's another thing. Like, this isn't just one course. I'm sure some of them play the same one, but like they can't all be playing the exact same one. Denver has a variety and value with 8 convenient locations. I don't want driving ranges. I just want golf courses. That's a miniature. City Park Golf Course, Evergreen Golf Course, Harvard Gulch Golf Course, Kennedy Golf Course. So 7. They have 7 courses. And there are 14 seniors. These people are 65 and older. So if, say, all 14 will play 60 rounds. It's 840 rounds. It's 120 rounds per course for the entirety of the year. You probably get May. You get all of September. Like, I even shortchanged it a little bit. You probably sneak some rounds in May. You may even get some in April. God forbid you play in October. Like, is this for real, these pussies? I hate it. The city of Denver. One more reason to hate them. George Foreman passed away over the weekend, I believe. One of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. An improbable comeback. Wins the heavyweight title. I think at like 50. Was he 50 when he won the heavyweight title? When he beat Michael Moore? Let's see if we can find that here. Just an unreal 1-2. Just fists of absolute steel. Where does it say? 45. Whatever. Still. 1994, age 45, won the unified WBA, IBF, and little heavyweight champions by knocking out 26-year-old Michael Moore. Unreal. Unbelievable. Retired at age 48 with a final record of 76 wins and 5 losses. Just unbelievable. Also, the lean, mean grilling machine. I still have a George Foreman grill. What an absolute fucking legend that guy is. George Foreman. Rest in peace, big fella. This is probably going to be my last one because this one's going to get me fired up. Not that the city of Denver didn't. But I'm traveling for work the other day, and I go to a casino in Council Bluffs. It's not the one I usually go to there. I usually go to a different one. That hotel was sold out. I stay at a different hotel connected to a different casino. All good. Go in. Everything's going fine. I'm up, a couple $100 playing blackjack. Nothing crazy. It's like a $15 table. I progressive bet, so every time you win a hand, extra 5 goes on. If you lose, you reset back to 15. So things have been going well. I'm up a couple $100, and I get 8. I've got about $50 stacks going. I didn't calculate it, but about $50 stacks. Versus a face card. It kind of stinks, but you got to do it. So I split them. First one, face card, 18. All right. other than a 3, about as good as you can ask for. Next one, 8. Split it again. So now we're on hand 2. Another face card, 18. Okay. Over to the third hand, 8. Split them. Now we got 4. They tell me, don't worry, we can't split anymore. We're at max capacity. On the third one, I think that one gets an ace, 19. Next one, 3, 11. So now I got a double. So I wham the double down there. So now I've got, I think something like 250 out there. 7, or no, like 9, maybe 20. Do I get 20? I get 19 or 20. I've got like 20, 19, 18, 18, something like that. 2 people to my left. The guy directly to my left has a 13. There is a face card showing. Homeboy stays. This guy had like come in. He showed up with like, I don't know, like $80 in chips, had bought back in with like 20, had won a couple hands. And then he does like, and he's been like staying and stuff on like weird shit, or like, I don't know if it started before, or if I noticed it then and I noticed it more after. Either way, next guy gets a 4. He hits on like a 14, gets a 4. He's got 18. Dealer flips something less than 10, has to hit, pulls like a 5, 21, busts the whole table, busts me. I was like this close to just hauling off and wailing on the guy. Next card, fucking out, 10. That kid takes the 4. He gets to 17. The next kid takes the 5. That's 19. Little, big, bust. Everybody's happy. But no, we're staying on 13. It's the worst thing about fucking going to casino and not having enough people with you to like take over a table is you just get some ass clown out there that'll just fuck you. And hey, I know it could have worked out all the same, but like the odds tell you if you just play the cards right over time, you have a slightly better than 50% chance to win. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The mic's usually pretty good at blocking this out. My dog is over behind my couch, just wailing against the wall, just scratching the wall and like pushing. Boomer, what are you doing? Who knows? That's all I got. Let's go wrap this thing up. Closing time, everybody. Just want to say thank you once again. Thank you to everybody. Appreciate your support. Thank you to producer Kevy, as always, for helping us get started with this whole video thing. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you to Jeff and Zach. Appreciate them coming back this week. We are back next week. We got to break down the results of our second weekend of betting. Talk a little Final Four. May have another guest. Not sure yet. Looking to set something up. You may be familiar with him if we bring him here. But plenty of fun stuff there'll be to talk about. More college basketball. Opening day of the baseball season is on Thursday this week, so let's go Guards. Golf. I mean, hockey, we're not going to talk much about hockey anymore, but, baseball's back, so we got a lot of fun stuff out ahead of us. So until then, peace.